Hi everybody, it's Kate Cadillo again, your photopreneur coach, and welcome to my 2014 business and photography video blog. Today we're going to be talking about one of the 12 elements of a merit print, and that element is center of interest. But before I get into that, I just want to say thanks to everybody on the PPA on the Loop, the forum on the Loop, that gave me suggestions and recommendations, one of which was about audio. So I just would like to point out, I have a new lav mic that I got from B&H Photo, and I just love it. It's got this 20-foot cord and makes it really easy for us to get the camera farther back, and I really like it. So hopefully the sound is better for you today than it has been. And if it is, or even if it isn't, please make comments below and let me know so that we can continue to improve. So on to center of interest. First, I shall read PPA's definition from my sticky, as I always do. The center of interest is the point or points on the image where the maker wants the viewer to stop as they view the image. There can be a primary and secondary center of interest. Occasionally, there will be no specific center of interest when the entire scene collectively serves as the center of interest. So I have a few tips on this. These are by no means coming from a judge or even someone with a master's. I'm working on my master's, but I don't have that yet. I am a certified professional photographer, so I have gone through the CPP program. But these tips are just from my own personal wheelhouse, I guess. I have seen things over time while watching people enter in competitions, and I've listened to judges. And so these are just some of the things that I've noticed. So first off, I would like to say that center of interest seems to be one of the more important elements of the 12. The other two that I find to be extremely important are impact and storytelling. So this is one that I really try to focus on when I'm about to put an image in for a competition. And I'm just going to go over a couple things that I have noticed that can be helpful. Here's an image we have here of this senior. And as you can see, one way to draw attention to the subject is to use a bright color. So we have actually two bright colors here. We have her bright orange hair and we have her bright purple dress. So both of those draw your attention. The second thing that in this image that was used to help draw your attention to the subject matter is the fact that we used a shallow depth of field. So that's another thing you can use to make the background not the center of attention, but to bring your attention to the subject. I have also behind me here, we've got this image of Jacob, this cute little cutie pie. And one thing that draws your attention in this image and brings the center of interest right to his little adorable face is the fact that he is lighter than everything else in the image. So that's going to draw a viewer's attention. That's one thing that you can use. Another thing is the way that we use the rule of thirds, which we talked about earlier, and we'll probably talk about again as we continue through these elements. And then over here, we have a couple other images. This is a family portrait, a large family portrait. And this would be an example of a time when the center of interest is not just in one place. So we've got all of these different people. So the overall image has a center of interest. And then here, one thing that I'll point out with this image here is in this image with families, we like to photograph families on a black background, and we like to put them in all black. And one reason for that is so that the center of interest is not on the background, but it's on the people and the relationship. And this, that's my little guy. This image has a much better center of interest because of the fact that we have a dark background and dark clothing. So those are just some of my tips for helping create a center of interest in your images. And tomorrow we're going to finish out our workflow series, and then we will go back to finish out the 12 elements before we continue forward through the year with a bunch of new tips and tricks. So I'm glad to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Again, thank you to the folks on the PPA loop that helped me out. And please make comments below or ask questions. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.